Hey everybody, and welcome to Mondoid, your one-stop shop for all things Project Zomboid. And this week, you may have noticed that the blog post itself was a bit late in its being put up, rather, and that's because Rezzed happened. And if you didn't know, Rezzed was going on in the UK this weekend, and Rezzed is basically a big old indie gaming convention where a bunch of indie games and a bunch of other stuff come together to show off their stuff, much like a PAX would for big AAA titles. I feel like Rezzed is like the PAX of indie. At least over in the UK. And of course, our wonderful developers at the Indie Stone were at Rezzed again this year, showing off the wonderful, wubulous Project Zomboid. And what more could you ask for them, really? So with the Rezzed taking over the weekend, and with them getting back late and them being extremely exhausted, we couldn't expect too much of them from the Mondoid blog, but they still posted one to keep us all kind of informed as to what's going on. We did kind of expect an update to the game and Desura and through the forums this Mondoid, but because they didn't get back till 6 p.m. their time, they were exhausted. They didn't really have the time necessary to work out the very few small bugs that needed to be tweaked before releasing the game, especially with the time they needed to do it. And we don't really, and I can understand from my point of view, and I hope you can as well, that they put a lot of work in this weekend. Let them get a nap. They are saying that the game is going to be up tomorrow because there's not a lot of work to do. So tomorrow, Tuesday, you'll get your update to the game. And if any of you can't handle that, or if that makes you a lot of mad, well, I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, outside of that, I really wish I could have been at Rezzed, but being in the United States, it makes it very difficult for me, as I've been relatively close to this game since its probably early launch. And I've been talking to the developers for a very, 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 very long time now. And one day I'll get to meet them in person. But until then, I'm glad to see that Rezzed went really well. From the sounds of it, at Rezzed, basically everybody who got to play the game walked away relatively impressed. And with with what Project Zomboid aims to do, shooting for the stars, it's hard to walk away to play the game and not walk away with impressed as to what they're trying to do, as there aren't really many games who do what they are trying to do. The closest thing being State of Decay out now, which is on Xbox Live Arcade and soon will be on Steam. But outside of that, and they do it differently completely, you don't really see a lot of games like Zomboid, and Zomboid is a very unique gem, as to use an overused terminology on the internet. It is a unique gem in the indie scene as to what it attempts to do, focusing on survival over all else in the zombie apocalypse. Woo! Sorry about that. That was weird and randomly, really, really random. Outside of the fact that Rezzed happened, they do talk about what they need to get done before they release tomorrow. And one of them is one of the big bugs is an inventory lockup brought out by dropping items and a few other glitches that they basically could steer people clear of when they were showing them the game at Rezzed. Wow, I don't know why that really tied up my tongue, but it did. They met a ton of people. Really, the blog is all about Rezzed, so they met a ton of people at Rezzed. They got to meet a lot of people that were up on that are up on the forums that you probably know, like Ecumen. Ecumen does another Let's Play of Project Zomboid. They got Thudstor, Romaine, who's one of their modders / coders at this point. Kiris, Anto, Kipro, Lex, everybody was there. And it seems like it was a really good time. I highly suggest checking out the blog yourself because there's a ton of pictures they could show. And I am massively impressed with the little tiny booth that they have, the little background that they were able to put there. I think that's really cool looking. And they were right next to some food, which is even better, it looks like. And some really cool group photos. MASH being super tiny and not really being... got tweeted at. Anyway, MASH being so tiny compared to everybody. But other than that, that's really the blog. It really is it. There's not much there. I highly suggest, again, going out and checking out the blog yourself for the pictures. We'll be looking at Tuesday's update next tomorrow, and you'll see that in my Let's Play probably. And I look forward to it. So thanks so much for swinging by, guys, and I will see you all next time.